Hey everybody.
Hello.
Hey Lauren. How's it going? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday indeed. I am continuously pulling my life together.
Just some quick housekeeping because I'm so new to this software. Um, we are about a 5 second lag for
Okay.
the webinar link, which means probably about the same for our friends over on LinkedIn and our friends on YouTube.
Okay.
If y'all want to leave some comments, let us know. I'm not sure if we can directly pull them up on screen today. I'm still learning the ropes for live streaming. But Lauren and I are excited to talk to y'all today about overwhelm and shutdowns, which we're both kind of navigating pieces of this week. So,
It I really do. It like never ends. And there's Shannon. Hi Shannon. Um I really don't feel like it ends because well, life is life and overwhelming and um it's just kind of a matter of how you learn to manage yourself, especially because, um, especially in the neurodivergent world. We've talked about so many times, you and I are have a lot of similarities, but we are completely different as well in the way that we work and the way that we do things.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's good though. I mean, God, it'd be pretty boring if we weren't.
I mean, for real. Yeah,
Um,
Shannon's right. She said, when one thing ends, another hits. Yep.
oh, for sure. Quick bit. I'm pulling up LinkedIn just so because I don't know if it threads in those comments yet. It's still a feature they're working on. Um, so if I see anything on LinkedIn pop up, I'll let you know. Let's see. I've got to find it first. LinkedIn makes it
Get all your
notoriously
tech to
hard.
work, Matt.
I know, right? That's part of my overwhelm, actually. So, I was listing in our Google Doc before this. I was like, I guess, yeah, definitely tech overwhelm's a big one because we all think the more tools, the better.
Yeah.
But then, nope.
Well, and it's like, especially tech, it's like all the shiny new things. And it's like, ooh, this is cool. Ooh, this is cool. And then all of a sudden, you're just like, this is not working the way that I want it to work. Make it work. And then, you go
Yeah.
into that like spiral, and then it's like, no, out the window. Done.
Yeah, and the best part is that's just like one pot on the stove, and then there's three other pots that are about to boil over,
Yeah.
and it's because it's like other projects at work or personal goals or whatever, family functioning, etc.
I
So,
don't have other projects or any other interests. I don't know what you're talking about.
so
Zero.
wait, before this, we were like, "Ooh, we've got a tight time frame because we're both like, popping and not stopping kind of thing." Um, what's on your mind specifically today for overwhelm? Because for me, it's like my one liner is our 16-year-old little dog was at the vet yesterday and we didn't know if he was gonna like make it generally. He's cool. I think he's got at least a couple more months, but we'll see. And that's kind of my one liner. So you can imagine the overwhelm that kind of cascades from that kind of thing. So
Yeah. Mine has been um like I am very slowly but surely learning to manage all the physical things that my body does when it goes into overwhelm because I am very much in the very active learning phase of that. And so, with all of my different things going on, um, I am learning to work through and feel the overwhelm, which sucks. Um, but I will say it is teaching me a lot, which is also like, oh, all these things. Um, but one thing I will say is that it is also like showing me the things that I need to let go. And because like the more I lean into the overwhelm when I can sense that happening, the more I'm like, is this gonna matter tomorrow? Like, is this going to be the end of the world? No. Oh, okay. And like my body feels like it's in a constant state of the Hunger Games or something like that, but I'm like, oh, okay. And yeah, something I'm working on in therapy before I try to like over explain everything and take the entire time. I can't hear you though, Matt.
Good point. Thank you. No, I have a pro mic and it has pass-through audio, so I can always hear through my mic, but then when it mutes, I can still hear myself. So
Well,
anyway,
that's fun.
yeah, that way I can still ramble and then not accidentally interrupt people. Nice top tip for ADHDers who do podcasting.
We need
uh,
to know all the thoughts though and all the everything because that's how we work, right? Or
Shannon says, or can you control it?
um in my personal opinion, I it's a it's a management control thing, but I prefer the word management because I like to be in like control of everything. And when things spiral out and I can't control it, then it pisses me off. And then, there's another spiral. So I prefer the how do I manage this? Because as you said before, when one thing ends, another hits. What would be your answer to this, Matt?
I think as human as we are, we want to control things as much as we can, and sometimes we just can't, and that's a lot more times than we think it is. So learning to it's not necessarily a go with the flow thing, but like salmon don't reach their goal going downstream for their ultimate goal. Their ultimate goal is to go back upstream. But what comes to mind is one of Casey Neistat's really old videos from YouTube. And he was on one of those people movers at the airport. And it said, life is like one of these. If you walk against it, you don't really get very far. And he's walking at the same pace. So he's essentially standing still.
Right.
And then he said, if you slow down or stop, and then he starts slowly moving, he's like, you fall behind. And he said, you've got to, got to hustle or keep up to like put in more extra effort to get ahead kind of thing, which I
Yeah.
think is a healthy balance of those two worlds where like you're still the salmon, but maybe you need to go the same pace as the water going against you. So you are standing still. And maybe it's okay for that day or that week or that month or that year.
Well, I like that point because I have not found that like it's of course my dog's
Is
gonna
that your inner
go out
spirit saying what you feel? What is it saying?
now. He's like, "Oh, you're on something now that you can't get off? Let me whine at you incessantly." Um,
um, Shannon said that was regarding what you were talking about earlier.
yeah, so Shannon and I were on a conversation earlier and talking about lots of fun things. Um, and a lot of it was regarding overwhelm. So, yeah, I know what she's talking about there, but I will leave it at that.
Shannon,
Um,
no pressure at all, but if you decide you'd like to join us, I just dropped the link in the live share chat if I did my job right.
oh, I see
Um,
it. Good job.
cool. Um, so yeah, we can have up to 10 guests on here if someone would like to join, but there's absolutely no pressure. And Lauren, if you get to the point where you think it'd be good for us to jump into like the live word cloud, I'd love to see like Shannon's thoughts alongside ours and stuff. So,
All right,
um,
bike brakes, Matt. Ferrari
hmm?
mind bike brakes is where we're at right now.
What was it?
We're, we got the Ferrari mind.
Oh,
Bike
bike
brakes.
brakes. Yeah,
What's that?
yeah. Oh no, I already set it up. So if we want to have
Oh,
a play later, it's here.
well, look at
So,
you. Um,
but please continue.
Zoom.
Yeah.
Uh,
Zoom.
okay, so I am kind of curious, and one thing that I wrote was how. So I get asked a lot, how do you pull yourself out of overwhelm and shutdown? Come here. No, you're just gonna bark at me? Cool. There's Shannon. Come here.
Well, what's interesting is like, okay, honestly, let's think about it for a second. Because, like, my little dog that's sick, kind of thing, he
Yeah.
was just looking at my mom a few minutes ago, and she was like, yeah, I'm going to go get a bath or whatever. But he was glued to the floor because his meds are making him dizzy.
Oh.
But the only way he could communicate, like, where's mom going? Because he has major separation anxiety, was like he was looking at her like this. And then I was like, hey, mom, before you go, why don't you take Teddy with? And you could, like, see his relief when she picked him up because he realized, like, oh, good, I get to go where I was hoping to go without like
Mhm.
running into the wall. So,
Oh.
but like for your dog, maybe your dog's overwhelmed with like pay attention to me, like lack of attention or lack of whatever. Because we have a German Shepherd, and if you don't play with him, it's like he becomes a menace. So, anyway, hi Shannon, welcome.
Hi.
No, he's just gonna sit next to me now, and like he was laying in his bed this entire morning, snoring until it said go live, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Of course.
Your time will come. Okay, so squirrels.
Mm-hmm.
Pulling yourself out of overwhelm and shutdown. I was talking to somebody about this maybe a couple weeks ago, and we both agreed that we're like, okay, first of all, like your body usually has the physical symptoms and like it does what it wants to do or what your brain has trained it to do, I guess, when that goes on. But being aware of that and noticing that, I think is like, I hate to call it like the first step, but truly like being aware of that is huge because you have to be aware of it to be able to start pulling yourself out of it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And Shannon, you can chime in anytime if you'd like to. Or you can just vibe and hang out with us. It's up to you.
I can relate to Lauren, but I'm just learning how to recognize it in the spur of the moment. And that's been the hard part, trying to process it in the
Yeah.
moment instead of pulling back and figuring it out later.
Yeah. That lovely your choice of numbing it thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you say about that, Matt?
I mean, to be honest, my brain was a little like squirrel, so I kind of
What
skipped over me. But
what
can you
what do
repeat the
you
question?
what do you feel about, or how do you feel about knowing when your body goes into shutdown, overwhelm, freeze mode, whatever you want to
Mm,
call it, or how have you found to start pulling yourself out of that? Because I feel like that's like the big kicker for everybody is, how the hell do I get out of here?
hmm. That's a good question. Can you see my screen now, by the way?
That's a negative, Ghost Rider.
No. Oh my God. Okay. Well,
It's a
that's
you, and it's not
really
what you're trying to
uber
show us.
frustrating. I had like a word cloud tool and Miro, like the whiteboard thing, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be so fun. And it's not working, but that's okay. You know what I think it is, honestly, which for next time. I'm using an Edge browser. I'm not using Chrome, and a lot of these plugins are optimized for Chrome. So,
I so I switched to Chrome. I don't know if you can send it to me and I can pull it up.
oh, true that. Yeah, that would work.
We're
Here,
rolling with the
let's.
punches here, people, because we have to.
Yeah. Hang tight. Share. And then publish. No, invite.
I'm going to turn off my camera real quick and try to fix something real quick, and I'll come back. I'm
Absolutely.
still here, though.
Cool. Sounds good. Anyone with the link? There. Oh no, it's like you need to upgrade.
All right, well, next time.
That's funny. Anyhow, where I was gonna go with that was the first word cloud was like, what 1 to 3 words would each of us use to describe overwhelm? So like, I put it into these buckets after that, and the buckets were like, um, what type of overwhelm affects you? Like sensory, like sound,
Mm,
texture,
yeah,
light, smell, or semantic, like too many conversations or too many branches in one conversation,
yes.
too many questions at once, you know? So I've
Okay,
got sensory, semantic, schedule, systems, and other. Schedules like too many meetings, too much busy
yep,
work, not enough decompression time or deep focus work, you know?
yep. Um,
Systems, too many tools, like what we just hit, you know, like, I
uh-huh,
used Chrome instead of, or I used Edge instead of Chrome, and now my not gonna work. So, anyhow,
just wants to be cranky. Um, well, and you know what's funny? I was just gonna go share something, but it's in Firefox, not Chrome.
well, you might
Dang
as
it.
well try. We can treat it like an experiment, right?
Oh my gosh,
Meanwhile,
that's
my skin's
hysterical.
flaring up today, and I'm just like, oh yay!
Perfect. That's
I'll
exactly what I want.
just I'll just adjust my manual camera.
Um,
There
well,
you go.
so we're gonna see if I can, like, pull this out of nowhere. But, so, I know we have talked about this, Matt. I saw my lovely dopamine menu on, some form of social media somewhere, and was like, "Oh, that's genius." And so I made one for myself because I always get to the place where I'm in that spot of overwhelm, and it is too much dang energy to be like, "How do I pull myself out?" And so that's like a good, like, already, um something that's already visual for me to be like, I'm gonna go do that. Like, and it can, like, last however long, but and the thing that I'm trying to pull up that doesn't want to pull up, um, is something for, like, you need to get a to-do list done, a list for, um, like, getting motivated to start something, or, a couple of different things depending on what you're needing the dopamine for, or to get out of that overwhelm,
Mhm.
which is
Lists
a
can
joy.
also create the overwhelm.
Do what?
In my case, in experience, lists can also create that overwhelm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like if you brain dump, I love brain dumping, but
Oh, me
then
too.
I'll often be like, "Oh crap, now I've got 50 items on the agenda," you know.
Oh, I may have made it work. Let's see, team.
Oh, cool.
Sure.
Yeah, if we didn't have 10 minutes left, I'd totally say like, "Let me open Chrome and see if that works better on my end," but
There.
figure for today. Oh, cool. Show on stream. There. Hey!
Woo!
Maybe
Hello.
I needed to click show on stream earlier for mine.
There you go. So that is my Canva, and that is my um, dopamine menu. And let's see if I can make a little bit bigger. Is that better?
Yeah, that's
Um,
great.
and so, yeah, it's got the dopamine, sensory, novelty, and gamified based on the things that make our brain happy. And so some of these are the things that I do. Some of the things are just things that I thought of, and I'm like, hey, other people might do this. Um,
Mhm.
but like, um, I would have never thought, like, I don't know why, a dark room, because I have to use that. Or the one I thought was really cool was, um, either turning tasks into levels, or, like, timing a checklist, or doing, like, some sort of a gamified thing, because, um, like we need to get up and move, but also like it's just that kind of adds to the novelty with me. And so like just some kind of a change of pace. But
Mhm.
all of these things are preset for these are all things I like. You know, watching a YouTube video I planned on, or like move to a different room. Perfect, different setting. Um, and you know, the novelty on there has like organize a specific space. I mean, that could be like a basket next to you or a drawer. It doesn't have to be an entire room or closet that I can already like visualize myself going in overwhelm. So it can be to the um, it can be to the extent that you need. So
That
yeah,
makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I think learning to detect those patterns has been half the battle for me when
yeah,
it comes to like not reacting to everything constantly, which I
yeah,
guess I'm hyper vigilant about through the lens of like executive functioning
yeah.
because I'm really quick to fight or flight and I'm learning to like reflect before I react kind of thing. I don't know about anyone else.
Um, okay, so I know Shannon likes her patterns as well. How do you how do you start recognizing patterns, or like what do you do to start that process, or even like, oh, that's a pattern.
Or flip it
Are you
like a
talking to me?
doctor. Like, yeah, like Lauren was curious how you recognize the patterns that lead to these moments. But if you flip it, it could also be like if you unpack a moment that's hard, what
Mm-hmm.
It's more like
symptoms
a
make up
feeling
it?
for me. It's internal.
Okay.
It's a gut feeling. I don't know. And where have I felt this before? Why does this feel um, uneasy, or am I calm around this person? Um, that kind of thing. I don't know. It's an instinct.
But I think you went into some good points of like, is it a is it a person that either makes you feel calm or um, makes you relax? What or makes you like feel tense and
Or what
like
about them does that? Yeah.
right. So I like patterns like that, or so somebody described it to me one day as your body goes into crisis mode. Um, that could be like muscles tense up, really short breathing,
Or
shallow.
even simple tasks. Like I've had a
Right.
moment where I'm like, why can I not like not necessarily open a jar, but it could be
Yeah.
like a 3-step physical process that you do so second nature and you
Yeah.
can figure out.
Yeah.
Or with me, if it's hanging out with certain people, um, family specifically, um, do they? Why does my mind keep going a million miles an hour? Why do I feel like everything has to be perfect before I
Mhm.
hang out with them, rather than with somebody that, like a friend, that I know I can just be me,
Yeah.
um, and recognizing those and figuring out what I can do differently to, or do I have to limit my time with with this person?
Yep.
So
Quick check in,
I don't
Lauren.
know
Do
if
you
it,
have a hard stop at the half hour or do you have a little more time generally?
Um, I can go about 10 more minutes and then I do have a hard stop.
Cool. No, I just wanted to ask because
Yeah.
I know the second top, I don't know about y'all, but like overwhelm for me leads to shutdowns. So,
Yeah.
like, if I don't learn to be more aware and reflect and address instead of react, then that's when I get the shutdown, like sensory or semantic or like just physical, like out of complete energy. What's on your mind?
Um, I don't know why this didn't cross my mind earlier. One that I didn't know about myself for a long time was that sensory one, um, which is great because I have two small kids. Um, so I did not understand for the longest time why my head wanted to explode by like 10 a.m. And I'm just like, what is going on? And once I learned about the ADHD in me and the 12 different noises between like TV, kids asking me questions, and whatever else, I'm like, I am in complete sensory overload. And so now, like, and that could just be like a whole bunch of, fun virtual meetings one after another, or that could be, I people have called me a psychopath before because I drive in silence. No apologies here.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
Um,
but I've figured out what I need to do to get myself out of that sensory overwhelm shutdown so that I can, well, come back out of it.
mhm. Tensile strength. Like, I think that we become more brittle when we don't address the symptoms that we know we fall into from our patterns. And, or even if we do address them, like I have friends and family who love pushing buttons. So then they
Mm,
try and, like, aha, I got under your skin. And it's like, yeah, but not today, please.
yeah.
I struggled a lot with that my whole life and didn't realize that it was not healthy and until recently. Um, I always grew up with if they don't pick on you, they don't like you. That
Mm,
theory, and that can be further from the truth. But I mean, in some cases, that's the way people show their love, but it can get out of hand real quick.
Kevin, we can hear you. Can you hear us? I think we can hear you. Oh, hey there.
Hi, Kevin.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I'm new to this platform, so I'm just kind of getting my sea legs with it. So good to see you.
Yeah, man, yeah. Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
All about the stuff we go through week to week, and figured we might as well start chatting in public about it because I think a lot of people go through it. So
Yeah, no, it's good that you're doing this because again, it's like I have like since like what half of last year till now, it's like I have purposely started dealing with being in control. No, sorry. Purposely started taking control of stuff in my life that I can control. So it's a massive learning, but it's more the coping mechanism is like, oh, I didn't know I can control this part of my life or these
Right.
feelings or stuff and whatnot. So yeah, it's yeah. So since I've been doing that, I have put a lot of friendship on hold because I realized a lot of stuff was happening, and I'm the one that was allowing it to happen, and then
Uh-huh.
feeling bad about it. So now that I am in control, I've like just paused the friendship in terms of pause the friendship is I haven't reached out to the person, they haven't reached out to me, but we're
Yep.
still friends.
Yep.
So that's the
mm,
pause for me until I have more control, and then is like rekindle the friendship type thing. So that's what I've been doing lately. And again,
yeah,
the
I totally vibe
taking,
with that. By the way, so
yeah,
Right.
and then the taking control. It's scary at first
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, oh, I didn't know I can control this, and then I was like, oh, okay, well then if I can control this, then what do I want from this control? So now it's like then really sitting down with myself and be like, right,
Yeah.
I can control this now. Then what do I want from it? How do I want to feel? Or what is the quote unquote, or what's the normal thing that's supposed to happen now that I have this controller? Because normal for me is going to be normal. It's going to be different for
It
all of
is.
you. Yeah.
What was that
yeah.
turning point of when you figured out that you could control all those things?
Um,
If you don't mind me asking.
no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I started. Uh, psychedelic mushrooms.
Oh,
Yeah, so like every 6 to 8 weeks, I'll take a dose. Um, and the psychedelic mushrooms I use is more for internal. So again, the 6 to 8 weeks is my mental prep time. Because again, with psychedelic mushrooms, you have to mentally prepare for it. If you
okay.
don't, you will have a bad time. You will really have it. Because again, it shows, for me, the shrooms, it separates myself and my ego. So it shows me my ego. And your ego doesn't like being seen.
Nuh-uh.
I'm
So
smiling because the people I met in Colorado have
mm,
had such transformative like shifts in their ability to adapt to their internal patterns. I
mm,
never went through with that yet, but they were talking to me about micro doses and
mhm.
stuff like that. That it's not what pop culture makes it out to be unless you
No,
do
it's
it
not. No.
stupidly. So
No.
Yeah, yes, yes. So I would say to you guys, if you want to go on that route, do your research.
Yeah.
Thoroughly do your research on the type of psychedelic mushrooms. Then once you have that research, then it's like, what do you want your experience to be like? It's like, do you have any childhood trauma, anything
Mhm.
like internal that you want to get in control of? Then you focus on the psychedelic mushrooms that helps you with the internal stuff. If you just want to see pretty colors and just feel everything around you, there's shrooms for that. Yeah,
I
so
have a question about that, which I'd love to explore with you, Kevin,
Mhm.
sometime deep dive. But do you, I guess, like your lived experience of those colors as somebody who has your experience of color? I didn't, Kevin's colorblind. So that's part of
Oh,
his brand. That's why I'm comfortable just disclosing for him because it's in his title of his
okay.
LinkedIn kind of thing. But, but on that note too, you said the type of experience, and I think the fascinating and wonderful thing is there's so many like formal clinics now where you can have a safe medical space with people on standby that will help you feel safe and stuff. You don't have to go behind a
Mm,
gas station and hope for the best kind of thing. But then Lauren earlier mentioned therapy, and I've been in therapy for about a year and a half too, and I've been in it other times in my life, but in the recent past, I didn't have a good therapist. And you
mm,
can almost think of that completely different bucket, but it's kind of like how my friends from Colorado said, well, it's kind of hard to have a bad trip unless you really don't want to address issues and then you choose to partake in mushrooms for the other bucket of topic. So kind of the same boat with therapy too, though, because when you have a bad therapist, it's like you think, unloading all these symptoms and situations and patterns is going to be the unlock. And then they're just like, they throw a wrench in the system in a bad way, not
mm.
necessarily in a shifting way or a, positive tip. Anyway.
Yeah, no, no, that is an excellent point as well. Because again, again, from my experience, what has shrooms teach me? Shrooms has
Lauren,
teach
I bet you
me.
never thought we'd get here, did you?
I don't know about that. I don't know if I thought we'd get there today.
Oh, I mean, well, here's the thing though, is everybody thinks for how they navigate their brain, everybody's so quick to think like to-do list
Mm,
or
Mhm.
Apple Watch and they're less quick to think like, I need to go forest bathing. I need to go out in nature and unplug. I need
mhm,
Yeah.
to write again and be analog, or I need to be present with my people.
Yeah.
Um, I get friends saying like, "Where are you, Matt?" Like, show up on LinkedIn. It's like, yeah, I'm being present, and it actually
mm.
feels really good.
It
So
does.
I think finding balance in these things is a journey, and it's nothing
Yeah,
we're gonna solve or templatize.
yeah,
Well, and
definitely.
I
Yeah,
think
no, I definitely agree with that. And like I said, since I've started taking control, and it's not just taking control, is being in control and also being confident and um, confirming how I want to be treated in terms of I'm just launching my business now. So now it's like how I want to run my business compared to how you're supposed to run your business type thing.
yeah.
And being comfortable is like, no, I don't really want to be working a 9 to 5. It's like I'll make myself available for 6 hours of the day because I've got all responsibilities here at home and stuff, and also I just want to enjoy life and whatnot. And it's like, in order for people to get the best out of me, I need to be well rested and calm so I can show up at my best self 100% of the time and stuff like that. So again, it's being comfortable with that, and then again, getting to a point where I feel okay in saying it out loud. Whereas before it was like very shameful. It was like, yeah, nah, I can't really start my own business and only want to be available to work for 5 hours of the day. People are saying, oh yeah, and when there's people who's working like 10-hour shifts and stuff and whatnot. Yeah. So again, it all depends on what you want out of your life, so that when you do decide to take control, you know exactly what strings and stuff you need to mend and repair and stuff, and what strings I need to cut. Because again, you gotta, in order, this is what I've realized, and again, this is one of my profound thing from my shrooms. In order for you to propel forward, you have to cut the strings that's holding you back. And it's harder for you to let go and to cut strings than it is for you to pull on new strings to move forward. That's just from my experience. So yeah, that's what I can share on that. And so far, since I've embraced it, and also again being honest with myself and people around me, and giving honest answers when someone asks me a question. And the most important thing I've learned is the answer I don't know is an answer. It's one of the most powerful answer than trying to make something up to make yourself sound smart in the situation. Yeah. So that's all I have to share on my experience and stuff. And yeah, it's been a nice journey. It's definitely lifted a lot of weight off my shoulders, and now I have my plan and stuff that I do. I use AI a lot to help me with the heavy lifting and the decision making and stuff,
Yeah.
and it's 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 amazing. It's taken me like 2 years to really understand how to use AI to help me with my heavy lifting. But now that
Mhm.
I have the routine down, my decision making for stuff is r- really simple. It's really
Kevin,
simple.
if you're open to it, I've been kind of the same way, and I know Lauren's got a hard stop.
Mm.
So would you be open to like we can hop in a separate chat and just start a new title for it? That way people
Yeah,
don't get. Yeah, cool. I'd love to deep dive with you on that. Doesn't necessarily have to be right now, but we could jump right in if you wanted to. So,
yeah. That's fine
um,
by me. I've got time. I don't really. The only other thing I need to do is I just need to post my weekly newsletter on LinkedIn, but I can do that in like an hour or so. I don't have a
yeah.
specific set time. Is
Well,
whenever I feel to do it.
quick bit. Do you want to
Oh,
take an hour break? I can have some food. You can do your newsletter, and then it'll give me time to write the post for this next one. We'll hop
yeah,
in for that one. So,
yeah.
Lauren, did you have thoughts, or Shannon, that y'all would like to share before we close out for today for the ADHD topics?
The one thing, like listening to you, um, that is like one heck of an unmasking journey. And how cool is that? Um, like all the freedom and no strings attached.
Mm.
Now that you were brave enough to go through all of that, find your distance where you needed to. So good for you.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Like I said, it's a. This is why I said earlier that you have to prepare yourself mentally for when you want to do shrooms. Because again, like you said, the unmasking, it's taking the mask off is the hard part.
Yep.
But once you take the mask off and then you realize, oh, I've been wearing
Yep.
a fake smile all the time. So now this is the
Yeah.
real me. But now that you've taken off the mask, now that when you want to put the mask on in a certain situation, because again, you got to put the mask on to essentially you create a mask to protect your real self.
Yeah.
So now that you have the power to take the mask off and put a mask on like whenever you want, so it's like when you're in the comfort of your own home,
Yeah.
you can take them. Everybody takes their mask off at home, and then just before you go through the front door to enter the real world, you put your mask back on. But now that you can physically do that at will,
but
now
much
you can
more
take
temporary.
tweaks to the mask and do or change the mask and do whatnot. So so now there's more power now whenever you want to pick the mask up and put the mask on, or like what you guys were saying, like if your family is being mean to you and stuff and whatnot, you can just pull the mask to one side and be like, "Why are you being mean to me? You don't need to be mean to me." Blah 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 blah. So you can tell them, stop being mean to you, and then you put your mask back on to watch your expression change and stuff like that. Yeah. So that is if. No, it's not if. When people realize that, and again, being brave enough to face your ego, because again, your ego is the scariest thing in the world to face.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't care how brave anyone else, you go skinny dipping with sharks and stuff like that. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But look yourself in the mirror and actually see your real self in the mirror is a lot more terrifying than
Wait, skinny dipping with sharks? That sounds terrifying, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god. What have you been talking to AI about? We'll leave it on that note. Don't go skinny dipping with sharks unless you feel like battling your ADHD that way. I don't know.
Yeah.
Cliffhanger. I like that cliffhanger. What?
Lauren's got to bounce, but y'all, this was so much fun, and we're gonna do it every Wednesday if we can get our stuff together. If we can get the squirrels under order, and I'll probably do it a lot more just randomly about general other topics, but ADHD every Wednesday for sure.
Yes.
Otherwise, we'll never get around to do it. So
next week is a different core topic, but I'll go for most of the squirrels.
Yeah, as soon as we check in on that topic, we'll do it. We'll do an invite sooner this time with some prompting and places where people can share thoughts and ask questions beforehand and stuff like that. I'll get the word cloud to work next time.
In Chrome.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I hope you all have a great weekend and happy Friday and best of luck with battling the squirrels.
Yes. All right. Bye, everybody.